And then you can go ahead and start when you're ready.
Okay, I'm Anthony, and we're doing limb loss. Your next slide. So our group decided this out of, well, we actually had like 9 problems, but we narrowed down to 4, and then we got the one that we wanted. Other alternatives were kids wasting soap. I thought of that because I have kids, and they use way more than needed all the time in anything, wash their hands or taking a shower. Riley came up with another one for extra hands. This one had multiple uses. It's just being practical wasn't really practical. And then another one that we came up was a affordable CNC machine, because CNC machines, I don't know if anyone really knows, they cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and obviously the better precision you want, the more you spend. But like most people, like to spend them use them at home for projects and that. I know myself, I like doing that. I used to be a machinist. But then the one we came up with was limb loss. We actually had a group interest in that. Myself being a Marine Corps veteran, I have friends who've lost limbs in that in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Riley himself's been interested in this topic and working on stuff like this before. So that's one we chose to do, and it seemed most ethical and most helpful. Next slide. Hassan.
So
this right here is a chart for criteria, and we weighted it, and 5 is pretty much stating the most important, and 1 is saying the least important. So starting off with good durability, you want it to not break easily, because it's a thing that people will use every day. People with limb loss will use prosthetic. And then ease of use, it's a thing that you'll use every day, so you don't want it to be like hard to use. And then resistance to moisture. We thought that was important because you're gonna have bad conditions and bad weather once in a while, so you don't want something to affect what you're doing just because of the weather. And then relevant for the customer, we didn't think that was very important, so we put that as a 1. And then customability, we thought it was like somewhat important, but we didn't think it was like the most important thing. Ease of developing. We thought that was important because the more we can make, the more we can get people with limb loss prosthetics functionality. The whole point is for it to work, so we thought it was important for it to just work right, for everyone to use it properly. Cost to produce. We weren't too worried about it, but it's obviously things to worry about when you're making stuff. We put as a 3. And repairability. Things are gonna happen when you use stuff for a while, even if it's something that has good durability. After a while, it's not gonna. It's just gonna wear down, and not. You need to fix it after a while, pretty much. So we thought it was a 3. It was a little bit debatable, but it put as a 3. And then cost effectiveness, we didn't think that was very important, so we put it as a 1. And battery life, I can describe this. So battery life can be improved upon any later repetition of the device, whereas other criteria were not open for modification and had to be there from the start. And the way we were going to set up the code will allow us to have a smaller battery, but have the same amount of performance time as other prosthetics. And that's like that because our prosthetic goes into power saving mode when it's not receiving any electrical signals. Next slide.
So we came up with a few solutions to solve the issue of limb loss. The first thing we came up with was the most kind of obvious and rudimentary solution, which would be a non-moving prosthetic, something made out of like a hard material, like a wood or something along those lines, made from recycled materials, just to promote, recycling and that kind of stuff. Second of all, we came up with a smart prosthetic, kind of what we decided to go along with past this point, something that would use electrical sensors, be able to kind of monitor how often it's being used and kind of grow with the user using machine learning. The The third one was a biologically driven stem cell based prosthetic, which would be kind of the ultimate solution since it would completely replace the lost limb and go back to full capabilities in a reasonable amount of time. And then the last one was more of kind of like a out there idea, which would be a career specific prosthetic, which would allow you to kind of have different attachments you could put on it and kind of turn your, lost limb into a multi-tool. So that was that. So next slide. So then we had to kind of compare and contrast the different aspects of each issue to kind of come up with which one seemed like the best idea to tackle just numbers wise. So, I mean, we went through that place by place with the chart here. Obviously, the one we decided to go with, the limb loss, did not actually win out numerically, but we decided to go with it on a group interest and kind of ethical basis. But that's that slide. So the next one.
All right, we decided to go with the smart prosthetic because it was the most realistic approach, whereas the stem cell one would be more effective theoretically because you grow back your limb. However, that's not practical because you'd be spending hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars on a new limb. And then the next one, the non-moving prosthetic, we decided to not go with, even though it would have been the easiest solution because they're really easy to produce and almost everybody is producing them. And so that's why we went with the smart prosthetic. All right, next slide. And then these are our references and where we were looking at the products. It was a little interesting searching up prosthetics because a lot of news sources were reporting on them, but there weren't a lot of websites just dedicated to ortho prosthetics and stuff like that.
Okay. Let me go back to one of the slides here. Trying to remember which one. Oh. I had a question about something, but I can't remember. Oh, maybe it was this one. Is that supposed to be a different color under relevant for the customer?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. It's just my eyes then. All right. I was just going to ask if that's like grayed out for a reason. It looks grayed out to me. All right. So that's pretty good. So you came up with some solutions. The only thing I didn't see is the trade-off analysis for the actual solutions. Here you jump back to the analysis for the problems. Okay. So you're going to do the smart prosthetic, and this is really an interesting problem. I mean, this is something that I think involves a lot of fields of engineering and science working together to solve. And it's really something I think is relevant to today just because of the the amount of veterans we have returning from overseas. So it's really a valuable problem to look at.
I think it's cool too because the technology for it is more available than it ever has been,
Right.
and on like a larger and more, I don't know, I feel like if you showed somebody a smart prosthetic like 30 years ago, they would be pretty floored that that's possible.
Yeah, I think so much of that has been just the ability to have smaller and smaller sensors, and the understanding now we have. Well, we don't know it all, but we know more about how the brain interfaces, right, with limbs.
They're working on artificial eyes now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's pretty cool stuff. All right, does anyone have any questions for this group? I'm gonna put up the the poll here. Okay, so everyone who was watching, so there's, let's see, 16 of us here. I can't vote. So, oh, 17. Okay, so there should be like 12 people that fill out this survey as attendees, and I'll just capture it once you fill it out. So go ahead and take the time to do the poll. And
So if it's our group, we shouldn't fill it out?
yeah, if it's your own group, you don't do the poll.
Okay.
Huh. Can't see my screen. There it is. All right, let's see. We got 11. One more person. 12. Okay. Let me get a screenshot of this and save it. Oops. Twenty 11-2. All right. Let me just check real quick my how do I pause? There's a way to pause sharing here. And then, okay, whenever you're ready, group 3, Powerhouse, go ahead and start your presentation.
Glass fogging when you excel in a mass. Next slide, please. Selection problem. Glass is fogging when you excel in a mass. The problem tree, which is the glass fog up when you excel in a mass, had the highest ranking in the discussion, and with the actual needed of mass, this day we decided to resolve that problem. Next slide, please. Criteria cricketed to quality. Uniqueness, very good, and our creativity too. Public interest, so uniqueness weight is 3. Public interest, to see if people would be interested in. The weightage is 5. Good duration. Understand. I'm sorry. Understanding in mind is 5. Low cost to manufacture. Is 3. Easy to develop. Wow, can you go ahead?
Awa, you're trying to speak, but you're muted, I think. Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
Yeah, so make sure if you're trying to, if you're in this group, unmute yourself. or just wait till you're ready to speak.
Okay. So the criteria critical to quality, we have the uniqueness. The weight of the uniqueness is 3 because it's a common a, a common problem. And during this COVID-19, I think everyone is wearing a mask, and we need something that could help us when we wear a glass, I think. And we have the public interest 5. I think people would be interested in the good durability 5, um, or 3, because you can, it depends on the product. You can have a product that you might use for just a couple of minutes, and then another product that you can use all day. So you have the low cost to manufacture, that would be cheap, ease of developing, mm, that won't need um, an engineer, ease of use 5, satisfaction of customers, um, whether people will be satisfied or if they want more, lightweight, that would be easy, I guess. Support of other companies 3, um, and heavy mathematics involved in design 1, to see if that would need technology and engineers. You can go to the next slide. For the solutions, we have the fabric that fits around your face under the mask. The fabric, the mask will be made from that fabric, and that will suck in the hot exhale air, and the moisture. We have an adhesive that sticks the mask to your face, which will help the mask to wick away the moisture. We have an anti-fog spray for your glasses. The spray will be used regularly. You have to apply it on your glasses before wearing it. A cream that absorbs moisture from your breath. The cream will be a kind of shield, and that would be waterproof, and that its chemical component will absorb the moisture under the mask after you exhale. An attachment that redirects the air. Um, that attachment will be used with the mask, and then when you exhale, instead of going up, that will, like, you can the air will go down. I don't know how to explain it. An attachment that you put over your nose and mouth that directs your breath to exit below your mask. The next slide.
So what we have here is basically all of the solutions, or everyone's problem, all the solutions and how they're weighed. And the letter A, the fabric that fits around your face under the mask, was given the highest number ranking because sorry, my mic wasn't working for a minute. Sorry, my mic isn't working.
Oh,
I'm sorry about this. Can you go to the next slide, please?
yeah, let me. Okay.
So the selected solution for our group was the fabric that fits around your face under the mask. I'm working on a prototype for it right now. So basically what happened with the alternative solutions was that they were too complicated to make. Like there's too much math involved and we didn't have enough knowledge on how we could actually make those, if they're like what would be involved in making them. And we just decided that the solution that we came up with, that we selected, would best fit what how it would keep the fog off of your glasses. So how it works is it's just a piece of fabric that, you know, fits around your face. It kind of goes over the top of the mask so that your breath gets redirected down instead of just going straight up into your glasses. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with my mic right now. So I'm not sure if we need a prototype made or anything soon, but I was working on that today a little bit of how it would actually look. But it didn't turn out too well because, you know, it's just the first one. But right now we felt like this is something that's needed, you know. I can't really see in class when I need to have glasses on and I need to wear a mask. So yeah, this is what we've come up with.
Okay. Is there one more? Let's see. Oh, okay, just the last slide. All right, so I'm a little confused. There's you mentioned, all right, so you're doing A, fabric that fits around your face?
Yes.
Okay. Not E, because you mentioned that it's redirecting air, so I wanted to make sure these are two separate ones.
It was two separate ideas, but they were somewhat similar because the other one was an attachment, basically kind of like a cone shaped thing.
Okay.
But we just felt it didn't really go along with what we were trying to do. So.
All right. And C was the anti-fog spray that you felt you didn't have enough expertise in.
Right. We're not
Okay.
exactly sure what goes into it, and also something similar already exists.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to clarify that. Let me, are there any questions from the class on anything that they presented? Let me launch a poll for group 2 here, or group 3. Okay, so go ahead and fill that out. Did you have a hard time brainstorming ideas that, or did you have it hard, did you feel like it was difficult to come up with 5 or more ideas? Or was it something that was not too hard?
It was a little challenging trying to come up with some other ones, but because I already came up with idea A, the fabric that fits around your face. And I already had a good idea on what that looked like, and then we had to come up with other solutions. So we brainstormed a couple of them, and those are the results of the other ones.
And was it surprising to anyone the way the rankings fell, or you guys all sort of felt like it was it made sense?
Yeah, I think we all kind of thought it just made sense, especially since one of them already existed. So.
Okay. Let me grab a screenshot of this poll. All right. Let's see. All right. Yeah, and you mentioned prototyping, and I think I mentioned it in the last class. I've got to pull together the oh, I forgot to hold on. I've got to pull together the documentation and such, but I'm hoping to get that done and get it out and explained next week. But we'll have, we're going to have a paper written about this where you can sort of summarize all the work you've done and then go into some of the, some of what you need to do to design and build. So here's the thing, there's such a wide variety of projects here. I could see where it'd be easier, or it'd be relatively easy for some projects to come up with physical prototypes. Some projects might have to do virtual prototyping. So I'll, like I said, I have some CAD links I'll put up there. So you could do some kind of like CAD drawing. And then there's some projects that require a little more depth, you know, that really, it would be difficult to, well, it might not be impossible to virtually prototype them, but I want to get a little more meat around the concept. So I think I'm going to turn this into sort of a, you know, a research, well, almost like a research paper where depending on the extent of the project, right, you can write it more as a, you know, like an in-depth research paper on what technology would be required versus, you know, this is a virtual prototype I created. This is the type of materials we'd recommend, or, you know, this is the actual prototype we had. We tested it. So I think there's a few different paths we can take here depending on the project. So it's just taking me a little time to organize that. So again, I don't feel like everyone, again, some projects are going to be easier to build a little prototype for than others. Others are going to be harder. And so I'll come up with a path for those. So you won't be stuck in, oh, I have to build a prototype, or I have to do a research paper, or I have to do, you know, prototype or virtual prototyping. Did I save this? Let's see. Yes, I did. Okay. Now, I don't have anything from group 2. So group 4, I have a presentation. Group 4, I know you weren't supposed to go today, so I'm just going to ask you if you feel ready to go. Group 4 is the 3 Musketeers. I don't know if you're all here. Let's see.
We are all here, but we had planned to get together tomorrow to go over what we wanted in our presentation.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I don't think we would be able to present the best presentation that possible today. So.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks for turning in a presentation. And like I said, the people that were supposed to present Wednesday, I asked them to turn in presentations, and with the idea that they could go back and actually, you know, they'd have some time to refine them if they needed to. So group 1 and group 3 are complete. We'll do on Wednesday, we'll do group 2, 4, 5, and 6. Oh wait, group 6, you actually submitted a presentation too. Are you also, would you also prefer to wait till Wednesday, or is that something you would be comfortable doing today?
Probably just wait on it.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Let's see, where's my, there it is, downloads. Yeah, okay, group 6. Okay, so Wednesday we'll have all 4 groups. We're gonna try to keep it down to less than 10 minutes so we can get everyone done and have some time for you know, discussion and questions. Are there any questions in general? Like I said, I was hoping to get through 3 presentations today, but we can just end early. Let me go to the Blackboard page for a minute.